Imagine this. You've just booked your dream vacation, a trip to Europe, a cruise in the Caribbean, or maybe a peaceful stay in the mountains. But wait, are you truly prepared? Traveling after 70 can be incredibly rewarding, but it also comes with hidden dangers that could turn your dream getaway into an unexpected challenge. In the next few minutes, we'll uncover 5 critical risks every senior traveler needs to know and how to avoid them. Stay tuned if you want to make your next adventure as safe as it is memorable. Let's dive in. Let's start with the most obvious concern: health. As we age, our bodies become more vulnerable to illnesses, chronic conditions, and fatigue. Long flights, time zone changes, and unfamiliar environments can take a toll on even the healthiest seniors. For example, did you know that sitting for long periods during flights increases the risk of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, especially for those over 65? DVT occurs when blood clots form in the veins, often in the legs, and it can become life-threatening if the clot travels to the lungs. The cramped seating and limited mobility on airplanes make seniors particularly susceptible. Additionally, what about access to medications while abroad? One study found that nearly 30% of travelers over 70 experienced issues obtaining prescription refills overseas. Some countries may not carry the same brand or type of medication you rely on, and language barriers can complicate communication with pharmacists. It's crucial for seniors to consult their doctor before traveling. They should carry all necessary medications in their original packaging, along with a copy of their prescriptions. Before you go, schedule a checkup with your physician. Pack extra meds in case of delays, and always wear compression socks on long flights to improve circulation. These small steps can make a big difference in ensuring your health remains stable throughout your journey. Next up is physical fatigue. Many popular tourist spots require a lot of walking, standing, or climbing, and these activities can quickly drain your energy reserves. Picture yourself climbing steep stairs at a historic site or walking miles through cobblestone streets. While these experiences are exciting, they can lead to exhaustion, muscle soreness, or even falls. A recent case involved a 72-year-old traveler who had to cut her trip short after straining her knees during a day of sightseeing. She underestimated the physical demands of exploring ancient ruins and ended up needing medical attention. To prevent this, plan your itinerary carefully. Break up activities with rest periods. Use mobility aids like walking sticks if needed, and prioritize destinations that are senior-friendly. Research ahead of time to find attractions that offer elevators, ramps, or seating areas. Consider booking accommodations close to major landmarks so you don't have to walk long distances. And remember, it's okay to skip certain activities if you're feeling tired. Your body will thank you later. Now, let's talk about safety concerns. Unfortunately, older adults are often targeted by scammers or pickpockets, especially in crowded tourist areas. Additionally, navigating unfamiliar places can increase the likelihood of accidents, such as slips, trips, or getting lost. There was a story of a couple in their 70s who were robbed while using public transportation in a foreign city because they didn't realize they were holding their valuables visibly. Another common issue is misjudging traffic patterns in countries where driving rules differ from what you're used to. This can result in accidents or near misses. To stay safe, keep your belongings secure, avoid displaying expensive items, and research local scams ahead of time. Consider joining group tours where guides can help you navigate safely. If you're traveling alone, share your daily plans with someone back home and check in regularly. Carry a card with your hotel's address written in the local language in case you need assistance from locals or taxi drivers. Taking these precautions can give you peace of mind and allow you to focus on enjoying your trip. Another major issue is financial strain. Traveling can be expensive, and unexpected costs, like medical emergencies or last-minute cancellations, can wreak havoc on your budget. Seniors living on fixed incomes may find themselves struggling to cover unplanned expenses. For instance, one traveler faced a $5,000 hospital bill after falling ill in a country without reciprocal health care agreements. Without proper insurance, she was forced to pay out of pocket, which put a significant dent in her savings. To protect yourself financially, purchase comprehensive travel insurance that covers health emergencies, trip cancellations, and lost belongings. Always carry emergency cash in the local currency and notify your bank of your travel plans to avoid card issues. Be mindful of exchange rates and hidden fees when using credit cards abroad. Planning your budget meticulously and setting aside a contingency fund can help mitigate stress and ensure you're prepared for any surprises. Finally, there's the emotional aspect. Loneliness or feeling disconnected from loved ones back home. Being away from family and friends for extended periods can sometimes lead to feelings of isolation, particularly if you're traveling solo. A survey showed that 40% of seniors reported missing significant life events, like birthdays or anniversaries, while traveling. Some also mentioned feeling anxious about being far from familiar surroundings and support systems. To combat this, consider inviting a close friend or family member to join you. Regularly connect with loved ones through video calls, and choose destinations where you feel comfortable and supported. Joining senior travel groups or community tours can provide opportunities to meet new people and build connections. Keeping a journal of your experiences can also help process emotions and create lasting memories. Remember, traveling is not just about seeing new places. It's about nurturing your overall well-being. At this point, you might be wondering how to balance the excitement of travel with the practical realities of aging. The key lies in preparation and adaptability. Every destination has its unique challenges, but with the right mindset and tools, you can overcome them. For example, technology can play a vital role in enhancing your travel experience. Smartphones with GPS navigation apps can help you avoid getting lost, while translation apps can bridge language gaps. Portable chargers ensure your devices stay powered throughout the day. Lightweight luggage with wheels makes moving around easier, and collapsible water bottles save space while keeping you hydrated. Investing in these small conveniences can greatly enhance your comfort and confidence as you explore new horizons. Let's delve deeper into some real-life examples to illustrate these points. Take Margaret, a 74-year-old retiree who decided to fulfill her lifelong dream of visiting Japan. She meticulously planned her trip, consulting her doctor beforehand and packing ample medication. However, she underestimated the physical demands of Tokyo's bustling streets and Kyoto's temple staircases. By the third day, she was exhausted and frustrated. Realizing she needed to adjust her pace, she began taking breaks at cafes and opting for guided tours instead of independent exploration. Her willingness to adapt transformed her experience, allowing her to savor the beauty of Japan without compromising her health. Then there's Robert, a 78-year-old widower who traveled to Italy with his son. Initially hesitant due to mobility concerns, he discovered that renting a wheelchair-friendly van made all the difference. They explored charming villages, enjoyed wine tastings, and created cherished memories together. Stories like these remind us that age doesn't have to limit adventure. It simply requires thoughtful planning. As we continue, let's address another important factor: mental health. Traveling can be both exhilarating and overwhelming, especially for seniors who aren't accustomed to constant change. Jet lag, cultural differences, and sensory overload can contribute to stress or anxiety. To manage these feelings, practice mindfulness techniques, such as deep breathing or meditation. Bring along items that bring you comfort, whether it's a favorite book, soothing music, or photos of loved ones. Establishing a routine, even while traveling, can provide stability. For example, starting each morning with a cup of tea or going for a short walk can anchor you amidst the whirlwind of new experiences. Prioritizing self-care ensures you return home refreshed rather than depleted. By now, you've gained valuable insights into the potential pitfalls of traveling after 70. But knowledge alone isn't enough. You need actionable strategies to implement these lessons. Start by creating a detailed checklist tailored to your needs. Include sections for health preparations, packing essentials, financial safeguards, and emergency contacts. Share this list with a trusted companion who can assist if needed. Practice using new tools or technologies before your departure to build familiarity. Most importantly, listen to your body and intuition. If something feels off, don't hesitate to seek help or modify your plans. Flexibility is your greatest ally when navigating the complexities of senior travel. Years after the fateful university debate, Barron Trump and Alex Rivera found themselves crossing paths once again, this time under very different circumstances. The setting was a national conference on youth leadership, held in a sprawling convention center in Washington, D.C. Both had been invited to speak as part of a panel titled Bridging Divides: Lessons from a Polarized Era. Neither had known the other would be there until they walked into the green room before the event. The initial awkwardness was palpable. Barron, now working as a policy analyst for a think tank focused on education reform, stood near the coffee machine, scrolling through his phone. Alex, who had become a prominent advocate for marginalized communities and authored a best-selling book on systemic inequities, hesitated at the door before stepping inside. Their eyes met briefly, and a shared memory flickered between them, the heated exchange that had once defined their public lives. "Hey," Alex said finally, breaking the silence. It was a simple greeting, but it carried weight. "Hey," Barab replied, turning to face them fully. After a beat, he added, "It's been a while." They exchanged pleasantries, cautiously at first, then more openly as they discovered common ground in their respective journeys. Barron spoke about how the debate had pushed him to seek out perspectives outside his comfort zone, leading him to work closely with underserved communities. Alex, in turn, admitted that their earlier approach to activism had evolved, shaped by the realization that lasting change required patience and collaboration. As they prepared to take the stage, the moderator introduced the panelists, highlighting their backgrounds and accomplishments. When it came time for questions from the audience, one attendee, a young college student, raised their hand and asked, "What advice would you give to people like me, who want to make a difference but feel overwhelmed by division?" Barron leaned forward, his tone thoughtful. "I'd say don't let fear of disagreement stop you from engaging. Some of the most valuable lessons I've learned came from moments where I felt challenged or uncomfortable. Growth doesn't happen in echo chambers." Alex nodded in agreement, adding, "And remember, listening is just as important as speaking. You can hold firm to your values while still trying to understand someone else's point of view. That doesn't mean compromising your beliefs. It means finding ways to move forward together." Their responses resonated deeply with the audience, many of whom were young adults navigating their own roles in an increasingly polarized society. As the session drew to a close, Barron and Alex exchanged a glance, unspoken understanding passing between them. Though they still didn't agree on everything, and likely never would, they had reached a place of mutual respect. After the event, they found themselves sitting side by side at a small cafe nearby, reflecting on how far they'd come since that contentious day years ago. "You know," Alex said, stirring their coffee, "I used to think debates like ours were about winning or losing. But now I see they're really about planting seeds. Maybe not everyone walks away convinced, but if even one person starts thinking differently, it's worth it." Barron smiled faintly. "I couldn't have said it better myself. Honestly, I think our conversation back then made me realize something important. That real leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about being willing to listen, adapt, and grow." For the first time, they laughed together, not nervously, but genuinely. The laughter dissolved any lingering tension, leaving behind a sense of closure neither had expected, but both welcomed. In the years that followed, Barron and Alex occasionally collaborated on projects aimed at fostering dialogue across political divides. They co-authored an op-ed advocating for civility in public discourse, which went viral and sparked renewed interest in their story. Though their methods and philosophies remained distinct, their partnership served as a powerful reminder that progress often requires bridging gaps rather than widening them. Eventually, the tale of Barron Trump and Alex Rivera became a symbol of possibility, a testament to the idea that even the fiercest disagreements could lead to understanding, growth, and ultimately, unity. Their journey taught countless others that while the road to reconciliation might be messy and imperfect, it was always worth taking. And so, what began as a heated confrontation ended not with bitterness or resentment, but with two individuals choosing to rise above their differences and inspire a generation to do the same. In doing so, they proved that hope, empathy, and determination could light the way forward, even in the darkest of times.